Well, I do have a bit of a rant to go on today. Not a great momentous thing, but it's something that just got under my skin of late. And what it is that I just get a little annoyed when I hear people bagging something and they don't even know what it's all about. So this is my response to a couple of things that a commenter on a particular raw foods forum that I frequent, and don't get me wrong, I think the fella's a really nice bloke and I think he walks his talk. I really enjoy some of the stuff he comes out with. But Harley, this is a Duran rider on the 30 Bananas Day forum, is always wanting to bag those who want to run barefoot, and it has a slight annoyance to me. So when I was out for a run, I decided just to put a couple of things together and address the issue. But unfortunately, I'm just playing with a bit of new technology, so unfortunately a little bit of the audio wasn't that good. Please forgive me on that, but I thought I'd get it out and let me know what you think. Anyway, so look, I'll see you on the other side of the recording.
His continuing beratement of people that go into a barefoot running lifestyle is that it's totally unsustainable. It's not, well, don't say, I've never heard him say the word, it's not natural. But his whole bent on it is such industry hype. You know, I can't, it really gets to me that, you know, here's a guy saying, you know, oh, you've got to be wary of what the society tells you in their food laws, and, you know, the whole structure of our dietary regime is built on, you know, the Kellogg's sort of pyramid, and it's all bullshit with grains and milk, and I agree with him. Look, there's no argument there. But what it is that he's got into the same thinking mode that, you know, because it's been like this forever. You know, that you wear shoes and you go running. He's come out with statements such as that, you know, you can't be fast with bare feet. Now, you know, Harley, wake up, you're missing the point. It's not about being fast. If you want to have some sort of argument on that description, right, does that mean that, you know, wearing shoes, it's a performance-enhancing a piece of equipment, and therefore I should be banned? You know, because, and look, you know, you would know of the famous marathon that was run barefoot by elite athletes. You would know some of the fantastic achievements of the Humari Indians, okay? Now, you know, if you're getting confused with bare feet and what is being coined lately as minimalist running, yes, well, I can understand that, because as a barefoot runner, geez, I hate labels, but anyway, as a barefoot runner, if I am racing, competing in an off-road environment and it's wet and sticky, I don't wear my Hirashi sandals. I more than likely won't run barefoot. I went out and I purchased a pair of Merrell trail gloves. Minimum lift heel, really good construction, great non-slip soles. Those shoes, used in race conditions, will last me years. I mean literally years. Because A, the amount that I don't use them, and the conditions I use them in, and I look after them. So yes, if I'm competing in that terrain, I will. If it isn't wet, I most likely will now have Hirashis, especially over distances over 10 to 15k, because, you know, on a 10 to 15k trail event, there's a lot more endurance at speed rather than top speed. And that is not a function of shoe wear. Okay, you train for that. All right. So let's get back to this. Reasons why. Now, if you are training for any sort of race, any competition, right? If it is a 5k, 3k, you should be making sure that your form is the efficient as what you can get. Because when you have an efficient form, then you can really work out, explosive techniques, routines that will deal with sustained high turnover, maximum effort training. But you can't do that unless, well, I say you can't, but it's inefficient to do that unless you have good form. Now, when you start moving the longer distances, the form still takes more than an important part of it. It becomes imperative. Because when you get tired and your form suffers, you expend more energy. There's more chance to go into positions or poses that will give you injury. So it's all about, what I say, for me, there is a large context of understanding barefoot minimalist running is to get your form correct. Now, people describe it as a 4-foot run. Now, I'll use that for the ease of explanation, but does it mean you just land only on your barefoot, 4 foot? No, that's not quite what it means. What it means is that as you land with your foot strike leg, your first point of contact is probably the outside of the 4 foot of the landing leg. The optimal position underneath your body mass. As the natural foot roll and arch takes over, you roll it in towards the big toe. It lands slightly to the heel as a kiss, and then you bring your heel up to your backside in a big cyclic type of routine. Now, I won't go into all the structure here, but suffice to say, that's what you're looking for. What it does, if you're conscious of that, right, you will naturally move into other positions that are injury prevention conducive, and also will work towards getting better speed at less output, i.e. more economy, okay? So over the distance you will go faster by keeping a consistent pace. So what I'm saying with my contention against Duran Rider is he will stand in the court of Nike or any of these other manufacturers and say, yes, well, it's all right for Indonesian sweatshops to subjugate their people working there to atrocious conditions, ridiculous amount of pay for their living conditions or their living climate. Now, that annoys me because wake up, it's not about whether you're running barefoot. It's about the lies that are in an industry that relies on mass marketing, relies on media presentation, relies on paying sports stars ridiculous amounts of money to endorse their brand. Now, is this a particular tirade against Nike? No, I really or not, because you do. So anyway, if you take that concept of, if you were to use your natural running equipment, okay, and yes, if you purchase a shoe that would protect you in terrain that could be seen to be a little bit adverse to getting a good running experience, then yes, hook into a pair of shoes that will not be outdated in 3 months as the new colours come in, or you listen to their bullshit about pronation and all the other technical jargon they go on. Now, just as a point on there is that, look, at the same time I will acknowledge that there may be some people that need something because of some, malady, malformation, in their structure. But, that said, we're talking about the majority of people here. If the majority of people that took on running as a sport or as a pastime, a bit of a health kick, okay, hey, you lower the barrier for them to get out for a run. They don't have to go and buy new shoes. They don't have to go and spend $50 to $300 on a pair of shoes. They can get out there, and what they can do is they can go for a jog or a walk, semi-run on a nice flat bit of ground somewhere. So, hang on. Good morning. So, if you're looking at the argument of barefoot running from, a speed perspective, that also isn't true. Okay, because there's some really fast runners out there wearing either, minimal shoes like Vibram Five Fingers or your Arashis, or even doing it barefoot. So that's a hoary old question. That one is it. Can you run barefoot and run fast? Of course you can. Even if the statistics of the fact that even lightweight runners, you'd be strapping 700 grams to your feet, 700 grams via 10k. That's a reasonable amount of energy expenditure you're saving. So anyway, that's my little rant about during riders having a go at barefoot running, and I just remember he's an ex-shoe salesman, so what do you expect? It's tongue in cheek, mate. All right, okay, guys, catch you later.
Well, I guess that's it as a recording, eh?
Yeah, going, yep.
So, anyway, look, I stand by lots of the stuff that I say when I record stuff like that. Things change as you go on. I know that. That's what happens, isn't it? But I believe I'm in integrity with the things that I say, and I truly believe that my transition into a barefoot running or minimalist lifestyle has a lots more benefits than being able to run faster as a runner or any other type of physical exercise that's not related to having a particular designer pair of shoes on or looking good in public. I hope you understand what I mean there. There's so much of almost a societal mindset of if you don't wear shoes, and the practicalities of shoes I understand, but sometimes it really is quite liberating to think, well, I don't really need shoes and I don't really care what anyone else says, So anyway, that's just an attitude as well, I guess. Maybe it's a bad attitude. don't really care what people say at times. Just like when you try and tell people that you're a vegan or anything else. I mean, you don't throw it in their face. They probably wouldn't even know. I mean, the difference is if you don't have shoes on in a shopping centre, you get this sort of downcast second-class citizen look, and it's a lot harder to disguise than your own knowledge that that you just don't have to eat animals or whatever to keep yourself going. Anyway, that's another rant, isn't it? Anyway, guys, thanks very much for listening.